I've always liked and admired Aston Martin, but I've never actually wanted to own one. However, could this new car change all of that? It looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. And its engine produces more torque than any other road-going Aston Martin engine. Whoa! But is all this enough to overcome a few serious problems I've already noticed with the car? People are going to want to get fingers like that. One of which is the fact that it costs more than the average house. This Aston Martin umbrella costs 300 quid! Now we're going to find out whether I've been wrong about Aston Martin all these years, or whether this car's going to prove me right. I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Car Wow. Aston Martin is a little bit old-fashioned, but in a good way. You know how Bentley's like downsized its W12 engine to a V8 with hybrid power? Not here, not for the flagship Aston Martin. We've still got a full complement of 12 cylinders. And if you pay Aston Martin an extra £10,000, you can get an uprated titanium exhaust for even more noise resonance. However, this particular car I have here has a little bit of a secret. Cue sound montage. Could you guess what the secret was? Well, it's this car's actually fitted with an aftermarket Quicksilver exhaust. It costs £35,000. Sounds expensive. Well, it does sound expensive, doesn't it? Yeah, it definitely does. However, this car isn't all fart and no poo. It's got some serious performance to go with that serious sound. This is a truly landmark car for Aston Martin because it has more grunt than any other Aston Martin before it, and that is thanks to this. A wonderful 5.2 litre twin turbocharged V12, which puts out an incredible 1000 newton meters of torque, which incidentally is slightly more torque than you get from the 7.3 litre V12 in the multi-million pound Victor. And this car only has slightly less horsepower than that as well, at 835 horsepower, which incidentally is 5 more horsepower than you get from the Ferrari 12 cylinder. So turn that Ferrari. Now this engine is actually related to the V12 in the original Vanquish of 2001, which can trace its roots back to 2 V6 Ford Duratec engines being bolted together. But don't let that put you off. Let's see how fast this thing is accelerating. Bloody hell. What happened there? That was strange. So 0 to 60 in 4.7, quarter mile in 12.4, but it said something about the tyres. It like stopped pulling in 4th gear. That was weird. Let's give it one more go. And it's not even saying launch control now, so let's go into park, neutral, drive. That's actually better without launch control. Let's do that again, limited speed, winter tyres, 0 to 60, 3.8, quarter mile 11.71, because of winter tyre settings. I don't know how to turn this off. Winter tyre limit, 150. Okay, here we go. We're on this time, it's pulling hard. This is it. This is the one. Wow. 0 to 60, 3.6 seconds, quarter mile in 11.2. Woo! That'll do the job. This is not so much of a car as a road missile. I mean, just look at it. Look at the size of this bonnet. It looks like it's been designed to penetrate 10 meters deep of concrete bunker. It's madness. I mean, the grille at the front, right? Traditional Aston grille, but it's about 13% bigger to allow more air into that huge V12. You've also got these cool strakes on the bonnet in carbon fiber. I mean, it looks the part, doesn't it? They've actually stretched the wheelbase by 80 millimeters. It's such a long car. It's almost 5 meters long. I mean, some journalists have criticised it by saying that from some angles it looks a bit too similar to the DB12, but where critics have definitely got it wrong is around the back. I have no idea why this particular feature here, this part, which is called the shield, hasn't received universal praise because it just makes the rear of this car look so distinctive. You can have it in different colours, but I particularly like it in this clear carbon fibre. Also, we have these 7 little slash LED lights at the rear, which are a nod to the track-only Vulcan. We've got a really cool rear diffuser and massive exhaust tailpipes. So they are slight exaggerations, the actual pipes are in there, but they're still rather large. Overall, this car is so beautiful. Makes me proud to be British, you know, sort of welling up with pride. Oh,
Not another one?
But there is the obvious problem. This car is insanely expensive. It starts from £330,000, which is more than the cost of the average home in the UK, £270,000. Oh, and this car is slightly more expensive than that still because it's fitted with some choice options, such as the carbon fibre on the exterior, £26,500. The carbon fibre here on the interior, £15,000. The wheels, £5,000. We've even got an umbrella, this Aston Martin umbrella, which, by the way, does have a lovely handle, but it costs 300 quid. The total price of options on this car, £60,000, which means this one that I'm sat in, 400 grand. But the bizarre thing is that it may seem really, really extortionate, but Aston Martin will actually pay you to buy this car. No, really, they will. You see, according to the latest financial information, in quarter 3 of 2025, Aston Martin made a £111 million loss. And during that period, they delivered 1,430 cars. So they lose 78 grand per car. So yeah, they're paying you £78,000 to buy a Vanquish. So do it. It's actually an insane deal. Whenever you drive this car, whatever the journey, whatever the conditions, it just makes you feel so alive. There's nothing quite like knowing that you've got 1,000 Newton meters of torque being deployed through just 2 rear tyres at your right foot to really focus your mind. You do have to think about what you're doing on a day like today when it's a bit greasy, but what you can do is still enjoy the performance because you just short shift the gears and just ride that wave of torque, and you can just sense the tyres just starting to let go because it lets you know what's going on through your bottom. You can tell the amount of traction you've got. Plus, the stability control is actually quite good. If you floor it, it will give you a bit of slip and the car will step slightly, but it gathers itself up so you don't end up in a ditch. Now, one of the benefits of this, while it is very easy to break traction, you can feel the performance quite easily without having to rev it all the way out, which is handy when it's wet like this. Something you're not going to be able to do in a Ferrari 12-cylinder where all the power is at the top end of the rev range. Woo. It's such a wild ride. However, this car isn't a one-trick pony. It's not just about straight line performance. It's so much fun just balancing the traction. I love it. For something that weighs 1,900 kilograms, it handles surprisingly well. The steering is really responsive and darty, and it's got a nice meaty feel to it. But the real star of the show for me is the suspension. So it's got 3 different settings, but I've been driving it in comfort mode because then, it deals with bumps so well. Yet when you hammer it through the bends, it stays supercar flat. Let's be honest though, for most people, most of the time, in most of the conditions, they're going to be quicker in a Bentley Continental GT. Just are with that 4-wheel drive traction, but Bentley Continental GT just, whoa, does not give you the feels that this car does. It feels like it wants to kill you at times, but then it's like, you know what, actually I won't. That's what just happened there. But there is a way that the Bentley is definitely superior than this thing. For a big car, it's actually quite small inside. I mean, it's almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meters long, but it's only a 2-seater, so you're probably thinking, oh, the boot's probably massive then, isn't it? Well, great. No, it's not. It's not massive at all. Look, it's really, really, really small. 248 litres. I mean, that's smaller even than a Bentley Continental GT, which is about the same size, but obviously the Bentley has some rear seats, and the Bentley's a hybrid, so underneath the boot floor there's loads of hybrid gubbins and batteries and stuff. If this was a hybrid and it had stuff under the boot floor, the boot space would be about the same as my pockets. But there is a solution. Look, there's a little bit of extra storage space here on these ledges behind the front seats. Brilliant. I just don't know why they didn't bother to move the whole bulkhead forward and just give you a bigger boot. Especially as when you put things on here and they're loose and you suddenly hit the brakes, things are just going to go flying through the cabin, aren't they? And this car does have some serious brakes. They're the second largest fitted to any Aston Martin. Only the 707 DBX, big heavy SUV, and the Valkyrie have bigger brakes. So we have 410mm discs up front, 6-piston calipers, 360 at the rear with 4-piston calipers, and obviously, because this is the flagship, the Vanquish, they're carbon ceramics as standard, which help reduce unsprung mass, which us motoring journalists really love. Less unsprung mass, more steering feel. 27 kilogram weight saving actually compared to if they were iron discs. However, what really matters is the performance. Let's do a brake test from 60 miles an hour. Here you go. Sam, on the anchors now. 32 metres, that is impressive. But is the interior as impressive? Well, yes. Yes, it is. The design looks cool and some of the materials are just lovely. Oh, carbon fibre, that feels nice. That feels expensive. This is expensive. Oh, love the feel of the drive select mode there. And the volume controls, very, very nice. Seating position is great as well. And the seats themselves look good. We've got some mod cons like wireless charging with cooling as well as your USB-Cs. But it's not all good though. A couple of things do let the side down, like some cheaper feeling plasticky bits and the infotainment screen, which is a little bit dark and dull and slow to respond. It's a bit annoying when you have a car that's this expensive but a cheap Chinese SUV has a much better infotainment system. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Thing is though, the rest of this car feels suitably expensive, but will other people think it's expensive? Driving this car at slow speeds around towns and villages is an event for many different reasons. One is, it gets attention. The second one is, it gets attention, sometimes for the wrong reasons. It's also an event because you really have to concentrate just as much as when you're driving it fast because of the sheer size of this thing. Don't think she liked the look of it too much, she's frowning a bit. I mean this, normally in any other vehicle I'll be fine. With this, I'm a little bit nervous. Thankfully we do have surround cameras. I think I might deploy them now. Look how tiny that makes the car look. Where it gets really interesting is doing this kind of thing, going through narrow gaps and roads. Oh, not looking forward to this. Come on, surround view cameras, we need you now. Oh, I don't want another car coming the other way. And I can't go up the curb. How understanding will these guys be? Please go up there, please go up there. Yeah, thank you. Oh, he was fine. In lots of other cars, I'd just cruise down here at 20, no problem at all. But with this, with the shark cub on the left, cars on the right, and wing mirrors that really do poke out quite a way, like antlers on a deer, I'm really quite concerned. Oh, I've got to go this way now. Please be understanding. You're really just, yes, people are being kind, thank you. Oh no, this is the worst thing, when someone has their wheel like that. Yeah, she's got it. Sorry. They all seem quite understanding. I wonder if they'd been so understanding if it was a Ferrari or a Porsche. There's something about an Aston, gives you a bit more leeway. Now let's find somewhere to park. Can I make it through here? Oh, panic. Panic at the disco. Right, there's someone behind as well. Chaos ensues. Right, going to drive. Oh, there's more. No. Please reverse. Yeah, honestly, it's the Aston effect. There is no way this would happen in many other premium car brands. Oh, this is a problem. Those lines say I can get through. Oh, it's just so long, this bonnet. Oh. Hello, do you like the car?
Again, you pulled out another cracker.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's a little bit scary.
It's very sleek.
It's nice, isn't it? Well, it's got the approval of the Royal Mail, another British institution like Aston Martin. Do you know what? I found all that a little bit more nerve-wracking than driving it quickly. I'm surprised no one's noticed me in this car. I think I need to pull over and take a little bit of a rest.
You mind if I take a picture of you?
Of the car?
Yeah, with you. Just that I see you on the road.
Oh, okay.
Sorry if I delayed you.
No, it's fine, don't you worry. Don't get run over.
Do you mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
What's up, man? You
Hello.
good?
Yeah, I'm alright, you?
Yeah, man. You're getting famous even in Brazil, you know that, right?
There we go.
Thanks, man. Have a nice day.
No
man.
worries. See you later. You do stand out if you're in a Aston Martin Vanquish. And this car has a few other features that stand out, although this time it's not for good reasons. While you can put the windows down by pressing the unlock button, look, press and hold, they go down. Yeah, kind of handy. On most cars you can also put them up, which is far more important, by pressing the lock button. This was one of Lewis's gripes about this car, and he tried it a few times, says it didn't work. Lewis?
Temperamental.
You or the car?
The car.
Anyway, let's actually make this into an annoying thing, because there is something annoying about this key, which is genuine. Look, see the buttons here? Why are they so small? Why aren't they the full size of that? Look, can you see that? Sometimes it's hard to press them. You're like pressing like that, and you have to get your thumb in there to press it. I know why it didn't work for you. It's because the button's so small, you're probably just pressing like that and your thumb's so fat, you thought you were pressing and you weren't, and that's why it didn't go up. Genuine problem. There's this annoying touch-sensitive button to control the display, and as you can probably see, the display is really, really laggy. You can change the views a bit, like this, look. Go on, let's do like that. No, light theme. Like that. See how laggy it is? Why, that view's alright. I do prefer the other view, but then on the other view with the central rev counter, then either side of it you have different information, but there's nothing really that you want to see. And one thing I definitely don't want to see is that average consumption over 279 miles, 9.2 mpg. 9.2 miles per gallon. The way this side skirt protrudes like that, it's so easy when you get into the car to accidentally just like smash your shin on it like that. Ow! And it really, really hurts. I've done it a few times already myself. And then you've got to be super careful when you're getting out, not to just like put your feet there and scratch it, or even worse, kick it off. That'd be catastrophic. This glove box really is only big enough for keeping your gloves in. Also, the way you have to hold onto the boot to open it, like here, low down, it's always covered in road grime. Look at my fingers. People who can afford to spend 330 grand on a car, I'm going to want to get fingers like that. For such an expensive car, you wouldn't expect such terrible condensation in the headlights. In fact, it's not only condensation, it's actually water droplets. There's a river going on in here. This particular car has a really annoying rattle from behind the dash. You only get it sometimes depending on the road surface you're driving on, but when you get it, you definitely get it, and it's really annoying. If it was my car, I would be taking it back to the dealer. So, how will that affect my verdict on the new V12 Vantage? Well, the V12 Vantage, I've always liked that, but I've never wanted to own one. However, this V12 Vanquish, I rate it highly, and it is the first Aston Martin I would dearly like to own, if only I had £330,000 to spend on a Grand Tourer such as this. Yes, I definitely have it over the Bentley Continental GT, and I definitely have it over a Ferrari 12 cylindric. Although I've never actually driven one of those, but I just prefer the look of this by a country mile. Amazing car this, if only I could have one as my own.